Yo, this is definitely Snoop Dogg and not a fake voice. Welcome to the Losing Streak podcast with Bankroll Bill and Automatic Austin.
Welcome to Losing Streak, a sports gambling podcast for those who just can't seem to win. My name is Bankroll Bill, and I'm here with my co-host, Automatic Austin.
How's it going, everybody?
Well, let's get right into it. We've had some winners and we've had some losers. My last two PODs died. I don't know how Oregon lost that game last night. So Wisconsin at home in Oregon. And then today, Charlotte, I had a minus 5.5, and they blew an 18-point lead at halftime to only win by 3. And that is
I think
ridiculous. Yeah. You know what did not happen?
What?
After that game?
Show me the money.
Did not happen.
You did not.
Oh, I think I fucked up already. I think I fucked up already. So
why?
That showed me the money. I don't think will be in the recording because I actually have to set up a second recording because I'm a dumbass. So people get to hear this live and on the go. But yeah, now I have a backup recording going, so we're good now. All right. So what was the first topic we wanted to talk about today?
We wanted to talk about the round of 32 reactions, get our insight and our, in-depth analysis.
Yeah. So my team Marquette lost, as we all know. Your team Alabama is still killing. I'm thinking that they're going to be crushing. Well, let's look at these lines. Or do you want to go over? You go new lines? Or you want to talk about
we're going over the round of 32. So first game I'm looking at is Maryland and Alabama. So not much to say here. Once again, Alabama, I gave out. I thought they were going to win it all on the podcast. What were they, like 7.5 point favorites, and they won by 22. So they absolutely murdered them. Northwestern UCLA. Pretty tight game, actually. This actually surprised me. You took Northwestern, didn't you?
I did, yes. I made money on that one. Yeah.
So that one, you could show them the money with that one. but yeah, a pretty close game, surprisingly. I think UCLA just, they have a few injuries that they're dealing with. So I think they'll be healthier for the Gonzaga game. But Northwestern, they're a gritty team. They have a good coach. So, moving on. Penn State, Texas. It was a 5-point game. Penn State, man, we'll get into their head coach leaving a little bit later, but they were a pretty gritty program, and they had some success this year. One of the last Big Ten teams remaining. And, they actually surprised some people. Any thoughts on Penn State this year?
What was the final line on that game? Was it like 5.5 or something?
I think it was 5.5. So they did cover, yes.
They did.
Show me the money.
Yes, they did. Okay.
Oh man, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this stuff. See, as you guys can tell, we're getting better. We're creating some soundboards. We're getting into this. So moving on. Auburn, Houston. This game was a little scary at first. Auburn was up 10 at halftime, and then in the second half, Houston obliterated them.
Well, for me, it was great because when I saw, I think we took Auburn, or I may have taken Auburn with the points to start out with. And then once I got that huge lead, I took Houston with some points. And then, I figured Houston was going to come back. I didn't think they were going to kill and cover. But, I mean, when I was able to take, Houston plus 3.5, plus 4.5, whatever, that seemed like a gimme.
Yeah, I got Houston at 4.5 too, and I was happy I did because they came back instantly. Like I literally placed the bet, and then 5 minutes later I checked the score, and they were up by 1. So I was like, "Wow, okay."
Show me the money.
Exactly.
But next game on the round of 32, we have Princeton and Missouri. This is one I really wish I took Princeton, and we were talking about it before it tipped off, and I just didn't take it, but. Yeah, we knew Missouri were frauds. They did have a decent year though. They made it to the round of 32, so hats off to them. But yeah, Princeton, Ivy League. Moving on to the round of to the Sweet 16. So yeah, congrats to them, 15 seed.
Good job, nerds. All right.
All right, next up. Now, this one really shocked me. Arkansas beating Kansas. I didn't watch the game, unfortunately. I wish I did because it was probably a really crazy game. But yeah, Arkansas keeps doing it.
Yeah, I was happy for Arkansas to cover. Did not expect them to win, but I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
As they say.
Show me the money.
Exactly. All right,
play something else.
Yeah, I know. I got to get some more.
We'll get some more.
I'm experimenting.
Yeah. This is fun to us. We're having fun over here. But second to last game over here, Duke and Tennessee. This is something I really wasn't expecting. Arkansas I could have seen, but Tennessee absolutely killed Duke. I mean, from the tip, it just seemed like Tennessee was a more physical team. But yeah, did you watch this game at all?
Yeah, I was. I started watching it and I turned it off, and I was just like, Duke just looked like trash. And that hurt because Duke had been making us money lately. They've been starting to improve, and they've been, but they just did not look good in this game.
Yeah, and I was at brunch. I was at brunch actually while that game was going on. I took the under, so I kind of went even on this game because I sided with Duke, but then the under hit, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll count it as a win. But yeah, moving on to this last game, Furman SDSU. We were on Furman. We were pretty upset with how they played. What was it? They were up like 15-14, and then they didn't score for the next 7 minutes, and they were down like 40 to 50 or like 30 to 15 or something. They were getting smoked.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then once it got to that point, they never made it close again. That was I really didn't want to take Furman there, but I don't know. I feel like the way they've been playing, and I saw the line, saw they're getting points, and I was like, they could win this game. And then they're a good team, but San Diego State definitely a better team. It's hard to compete with the size difference.
Yeah, just the athleticism you could tell watching that game. But that was Saturday slate. Moving on to Sunday slate, TCU Gonzaga. Oh man, I know you have some thoughts on this. Go ahead, Bill.
So I made some money because I hedged it back and forth, but I would have made a lot more money had that moron not done that cover for TCU. And they really shouldn't even have given credit for it because I think that they started the clock late or something, but he definitely couldn't have gotten it off like that, but he did. And TCU backers think they're geniuses for covering. Gonzaga backers hate themselves, hate their lives.
Which they shouldn't, because that was stupid. I mean, Gonzaga shouldn't have let it happen. They shouldn't have let him dribbled it. I mean, they should have just put a little bit of pressure. He would have picked it up, and it would have been a half court shot. I mean, it pretty much. I mean, it was probably maybe like a 34 footer. I mean, I'm not sure it was a half court shot, but it was still. It was pretty ridiculous. I mean, I was watching it live, and I had a feeling something stupid like that was. Thank God I didn't take Gonzaga. I did take the under, but that one was cooked well with after the fact. But or before the fact, but
with that said, I don't remember the guy's name, whoever hit it, but he is definitely the sports gambler's friend of the week, because he definitely
for TCU backers, yes,
for TCU backers, because that's like an all-time GOAT move if you were betting on TCU.
Yeah, and it's funny because if they posted the reactions in the sports books and stuff, and half of the casino was pissed off and all mad, and they were like, oh my God, and then the other ones were like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. They're all happy, and it's like
it was crazy. It went from silence to like half yelling at the top of their voices happy and half screaming at the top of their voices angry.
Yeah, exactly. Next game on the schedule, we have Miami, Florida, and Indiana. So on one of my pods, I took Indiana. Let me just explain myself real quick before anybody jumps to conclusions. I just really thought, Indiana with Mike Woodson, they'd be with the veteran leadership they have with Tracy Jackson Davis. I just really thought nobody on Miami would be able to stop him. I really thought he was going to go off for like 30 points, 20 rebounds, a really crazy game. And just watching that game, Indiana didn't even really try to feed him the ball. I mean, they have a couple of good guards, but like nothing crazy, and it was just really frustrating watching that game because it just like at one point in the second half, it was like Indiana was up 45-44, I think, and then the next time I checked the score, they were getting blown out. So it was just a bad call on my part. Probably should have picked something else for the pod. But
I don't hate that pick for that one though, because like you had Marquette, losing. Well, I mean, we'll talk about it later. You had Michigan State, Michigan State winning the game. You had Penn State competing the night before against Texas. You had Northwestern competing against UCLA. Like,
right.
I feel like in our head, we had the feeling, maybe the Big Ten isn't that bad, and then Indiana just shit the bed.
Yeah, and not even that too. It's just I just thought the matchup problem would be that Indiana had the best player on the court. So I don't know. I wish it was just a closer game, a better game. I hate blowouts and tourney games, but what are you gonna do? Next up, though, we have the freest fucking bet of the whole tourney. Fairleigh Dickinson plus 15 against Florida Atlantic. They only lost by 8. We took that when it opened at plus 14.5, and it went up to plus 15, even I think plus 16 at one point. And yeah, that was pretty easy bet.
Yeah, and they almost even won that game. They were sticking around the whole game. That was a good game.
Yeah, I definitely thought they had a chance. I'm surprised it wasn't even like a one possession game, but they kept it pretty close. And hats off to them. Their coach, we'll get into that a little bit later, but their coach also left. Not surprisingly though. Next up, Creighton Baylor. We're on the right side here. Creighton all the way, baby. Baylor, we knew they were frauds. They always are. They won by 9.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely glad. Should have probably taken Creighton for the pod, but hey, we still bet on it and we still won. So,
yep.
Next up as well, UConn absolutely murdered St. Mary's, and I pretty much knew this was going to happen. St. Mary's is, they always play at such a slow pace. They don't have anybody good on offense. It's like watching them play is torture. Like it's not fun watching St. Mary's play.
That's what killed me, man. When they killed VCU the round before, So I just I think I took UConn to begin with, and I figured, St. Mary's keep it a little close, and they didn't. So.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. See you later, St. Mary's.
Right. And then probably our biggest one of the biggest upsets, Michigan State absolutely murdering Marquette. Just watching that game, they outplayed them the entire game. But to be fair, I think Michigan State shot the hell out of the ball. They were making everything. Yeah,
that was ugly, man. Marquette started out looking good, and they just let the game slip away from them. But
yeah, but they're also a young team. They'll be better next year, I think. So we'll see. I think we'll be on them again next year a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next game here. This is another one. Kentucky was favored, I think, by 2.5 points, and Kansas State won. I mean, I think I caught the end of this, or I can't remember. I think I might have watched this entire thing, but. Yeah, I mean, Kansas State keeps surprising people. First-year coach, bunch of transfers. They're defying odds. And, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I was pretty surprised, man. I had Kentucky. I thought the Big 12's been kind of, underperforming this year. And, in the tournament, definitely. And, I thought Kentucky was going to win it. But Kansas State might be legit, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to beat Michigan State. So it's probably the best matchup that Michigan State could ask for. I feel like in the next round.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah. Which is interesting because if you look at the 6 and 3 matchups, both the 6 seeds were favored, Creighton and Kentucky, and then Creighton killed Baylor, and then Kansas State beat Kentucky. So it's just interesting looking at each matchups and comparing. But final matchup we'll talk about for the Sunday slate: Pittsburgh and Xavier. Xavier absolutely killed Pittsburgh. I fell asleep early Saturday morning. I slept in, so I did not catch this game. How about you?
Yeah, I watched it. Xavier looked good. I mean, Pittsburgh played better than they've been playing, all year. But Xavier just It is a great shooting team. That they just, that you could tell that they had more experience. They had more, talent. Yeah, I was glad to see Xavier looking good.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for our recap of the round of 32. So our next segment we're going to talk about the head coaching changes that have been going on in college basketball. So first, Rick Pitino is going to St. John's.
Yep, from Iona.
I think that's a very interesting hire. What do you think?
I don't hate it. And the funny thing is, I was reading a quote when he signed in Iona, because he had his previous, problems with programs and whatever NCAA violations he did. But Iona, he was like, I'm Iona and I'm here in New York for life. And so he didn't lie though, because St. John's is also in New York. So I will enjoy not being able to bet on him. But I think it's a really good move I think it's a good move for St. John's. They showed some life in their Big East tournament. And this will be good, man. He'll be able to recruit for him. And it's good news for the Big East.
Definitely. The Big East is going to be even crazier next year.
Yeah, we could talk about another Big East move next, I think, right?
Yeah, so what's his face from Providence? Ed Cooley, he went to Georgetown.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting as well.
Have you seen all the stuff on Twitter with Dave Portnoy and that basketball media guy going after it?
No, I haven't. Enlighten me.
Yeah, because Portnoy is calling him out. Why would you go from a team that's like good in the Big East to a team that's poor, like not great in the Big East?
I'm sure it wasn't his full decision. Like I'm sure the school it was like a mutual. Like, hey, it's time to part ways. Like we haven't had much success.
What, at Providence?
Yeah, I mean tournament success. I mean they went to they went last year. They had a decent run, but I mean before that, you look at them, their body of work isn't really that great.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that he didn't get fired from Providence, right? I think he just took the job at Georgetown. Yeah, but he.
But you don't, I'm just saying, you never know,
Yeah, but I guess my point was that Dave Portnoy was going after, and I don't like that guy. I'm not a big fan of Barstool, but he was.
Honestly.
I feel like he was correct on this, though, man. And it was so funny. This like basketball reporter dude just kept saying, "Oh, what do you know about college basketball? You don't write about." And it's like, dude, shut up, dude. And he went out and he interviewed, or he like asked secretly, assistant coaches in the Big East if they think the Providence or the Georgetown job is, greater. What do you call it? Like more prestigious. And they're like, obviously it's Georgetown. Right. They got the bigger endowment, stuff like that. But it's like, but he left the team where he told, like, I guess he said some things to recruits that, are not true. And so like the Providence people feel burned by it. And I understand. I think it's just a bitch move to go from one team to another team in the same conference, man.
We're definitely taking Providence when they're playing Georgetown next year.
Oh yeah.
Revenge for sure. They're going to fucking steamroll Georgetown. Whatever spread it is, we're taking it.
Well, we'll see how good he is at developing a program at Georgetown, because they definitely need development.
Right. But I will agree, though, it is more prestigious. And just like the recruiting, it's going to be easier because, Providence is in Rhode Island, isn't it? It's a very small, there isn't really much to do there. So I feel like being at Georgetown is definitely will help his teams for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Rhode Island, but it's still, the Providence is like a cool town. It's a cool town to live in. But
well, I'm sure, but you know what I'm saying. Like Georgetown's, it's way bigger. So,
but do we think the Georgetown recruiting goes up after getting rid of Patrick Ewing? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure if you got obviously he didn't do well there, but it's still Patrick Ewing. Like I feel like that was.
Yeah, but I feel like. But when you watch Georgetown, were you like, "Wow, they have talent"?
No, I was not. No, but I'm saying I don't think it's good. I don't think it's going to make recruiting any better for Georgetown because he went there. But I don't know. We'll see.
But before we get into talk anymore, let's go into our commercial break.
Yes.
If you were advertising on our podcast, this is what your ad would sound like. Are you tired of losing? Are you tired of not being able to pay your rent Are you tired of putting your gifts on layaway for your son that you've neglected due to your crippling gambling addiction? Well, good news. The Losing Streak podcast from Bankroll Bill in Austin is here to make you feel better about your failures and to commiserate with us as we also have our lives implode. Check it out now on your favorite podcast platform of choice, or don't, and save your money.
Alrighty, so the next coach we're going to talk about is Fairleigh Dickinson's coach. He's leaving to go to Iona. He took Rick Pitino's job.
Yeah, I think that's a good move for Iona, honestly. I'm surprised a bigger school didn't try to lock him down. But
I'm surprised he didn't try to go to a bigger school. But his name's Tobin Anderson. Sorry, no disrespect or anything. I'm not great with names, but yeah, he's going to Iona, and yeah, surprised he didn't try to go somewhere bigger. But I don't know, maybe Iona's starting to turn into a bigger program.
Yeah, and it could be too. It's New Rochelle. It's a nice part of like up in Westchester County, so it could be too that Fairleigh Dickinson's in New Jersey, so maybe he just wants to stay in the area too, and that was the opening,
Probably. Right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it's probably more money, better place to live, where he wanted to live, so why not move up?
Exactly.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. And then George Mason's coach went to Providence.
Okay, so
I think that'll do it for coach talk, though.
yep. Thanks,
So,
Coach. All right.
Yeah, of course. You want to get into tomorrow's games?
Yes, let's look at some of these lines.
All right. I really wish they started a little bit earlier, but what you gonna do?
So we got Michigan State favored by 1.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much saying this is going to be my POD already, man.
Oh, no. Of who?
Michigan State.
You're taking Michigan State?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I don't think K-State's got it in them, man.
Dude, see, this is the tough thing with me. Kansas State is like, so it's like Michigan State obviously has a better coach with Tom Izzo. That's the only reason why I haven't locked in Kansas State yet.
It's the only reason, huh? Well,
I
gotta tell
what
you,
makes you want to take Michigan State then?
I get it could be just like recency bias or whatever, but Michigan State looks good, man. They're on a roll, and Kansas State, I feel like, they did win that game, the last game against Kentucky, but they were down a lot of the game. I just haven't been impressed with the Big 12 this tournament. I haven't been impressed with Kansas State, really. Who'd they play in the first game? I don't even remember.
Kansas State, I don't remember either.
Yeah, whatever.
It was Montana State.
Okay. Yeah. So Michigan State, we obviously rode them against USC. We did not ride them against Marquette. It could just be maybe because I'm just so butthurt about my Marquette boys losing, but I feel like Michigan State's a play there. But
all right, let me just give you a few numbers real quick. So teams that have opened as favorite and closed as an underdog Sweet 16 or later are 3-1 against the spread. 2005 Arizona opened as -1, ended at +1.5. Arizona won. Kentucky -1.5, +1 in 2005. They lost to Michigan State. Kansas 2008 -1.5, went to +1.5. They won. Notre Dame in 2016 opened at -1, closed at +1, and beat Wisconsin.
well, I feel like I'm a bozo at times, and I did say I was going to take the bozo name back if Charlotte lost, and I can't believe they didn't cover. But I have to say
man, that's not your fault, dude. Your pods were pretty good there for a little bit. Honestly, I feel like the reason why your pods fail, the biggest reason why your pods fail, is because you choose the weirdest action, like NIT and CBI. Well, like CBI games, like college basketball invitational games. Like, what are you doing?
I've been making money on all these games, man. You say it's weird,
I know, but it's just like for your pods, man, they gotta be absolute locks.
Yeah, but here's the thing with these games. These games are the ones where the lines are off because look at Eastern Kentucky. They covered in all those games in the CBI. And Charlotte covered every game, but like whatever. All I got to say is I'm going Michigan State, and
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
all right, that's all I got to say about that.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
All right. Let me give you some more numbers here, though. So Tom Izzo is now 16-12 straight up as a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. Also, I'm giving you this information from Action Network. Shout out to them. They give some good info over there. The Spartans are 21-11-1 against the spread, the first half spread this season. So remember that for next year. Michigan State first half spread. Let's see here. I was looking at some Kansas State.
Oh yeah, so since I get the pro thing on Action Network, I can tell you. So if you're just looking at money, it looks like it's 50-50 on the spread, like with money. But they've got 4 sharp bettors allegedly betting on Michigan State. But their projection, what's funny, their projections with their simulations show Kansas State winning by 3, but the sports line ones show Michigan State winning by 3. So I think that shows you that computer models are wacky sometimes.
I feel like this game is a true toss-up, honestly.
Definitely going to hedge it. So I'm going to start Michigan State and see how it goes.
All right. I'm just going to give you a number that I read real quick if I can scroll to it. It was teams on like rest of 3 or 4 more days. Let's see here. Okay, so here it is. Coach against the spread records or ATS records on 46 days rest since 2005. Jerome Tang on Kansas State is 9-5, and then Tom Izzo is 137, 104, and 6. So 57%. Tang was at 64%. This is what really caught my eye though. Actually, I'll get into that a little bit later, though. I think I'm going to start off with Kansas State. So I think we might have a little bit of a lock battle here.
Ooh, lock battle. All right, I need a sound effect for that next time. But I will say, though, Tom Izzo in that, like, all-white outfit he had for the last game, he literally looked like an escaped, like, mental patient.
He does look like he's getting crazier.
Well, yeah, because he is getting a little older, obviously. So, but, yeah, he does look – I'm not saying rough. Like, I mean, it's a lot of stress being a D1 coach. So he just
I do not know how these guys do it for years.
But being all white and that it just like it looks like a straight jacket. You know, it looked pretty funny. It was. Right. You could go back and look at some pictures. Maybe I'll post them in. I'll post them on Twitter, I guess, because we don't really have a website. But yeah, not yet. But all right, do we want to move on? We got more games.
Yeah. So next up, about 45 minutes later. Man, why didn't they spread these games out? Like, this is so stupid.
I hate that shit. It should. I mean, I get it's a Thursday, so I'm sure like the Sunday games are probably. But they definitely should have started at like 1 o'clock.
People are still gonna watch them if they're still early. Like they should have started Michigan, Kansas State at 12:30, Arkansas, UConn at 3:30, and then Florida, Atlantic, Tennessee at like 5:30, and then just Gonzaga, UCLA at 7:30 or something.
Yeah, because I got the Gonzaga. Yeah, the Gonzaga game's already at 9:45 Eastern, which is, you know, whatever. So you can do 9:45.
Putting it back 45 minutes isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, even if
people are still going to watch it.
Yeah, well, no, let's say they ended it at 10 o'clock because it's a West Coast game. So you do 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time, you know, for all those games. And it would have been perfect. They just go one right after another. But whatever.
Yeah, they're stupid.
We're not marketers, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to watch each game, and it's stupid that they overlap. But okay, whatever. Arkansas, UConn lines at 4 right now. I know how you're feeling, but go ahead, get into it.
So, looking at the numbers first, I will give my unbiased opinion here. So, UConn's got 68% of the bet and 78% of the handle, so that's 10% big money differential. But Arkansas has one of these systems. It's actually a pretty good system. So it's slow-paced dogs in the tournament. And, yeah, they've got it, them marked in that. But then one of the experts on Action Network is going with Connecticut. Looking at trends, I like they got this tournament trends thing on Action Network. So they give Connecticut 62.5%
I think that's what I'm looking at, too. I think we're looking at the same thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, UConn's a great team. I like them. But I think I'm gonna take the points here because I don't think Arkansas. I don't necessarily think they'll win. Like I'm not like that confident in Arkansas, but I think their ugly ass players will put up a fight and keep it close. But I'm sure you want to throw the load on Connecticut.
No, man. I think in this round the smart money is going to be on the dogs. It's just this game is really close because UConn always seems to start sluggish in every game, and then they kick it in a gear and just kill everybody. I've seen it so many times this year. It's just I don't know, man, because Arkansas brings that that tenacity. They have the size that can bother UConn or to match UConn.
Do you think Arkansas could have beat Marquette?
Oh, for sure.
Because Marquette, remember that's a game I went to. Marquette beat UConn, man. Like they held them down, and that was like a lively atmosphere at Madison Square Garden, because it's a lot of UConn fans.
That's so much different though, because that's Big East and like they're used to each other, and you know what I mean, and it's like. And now Marquette, a young team, has to travel and play a Tom Izzo, one of the best coaches of all time. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for sure. These games really get hard to handicap. But
so I definitely. Yeah, I think I'll do double the action on Michigan State than whatever I'll do on Arkansas. But I'll put like a little bit, like kind of like a small bet, whatever DraftKings limited my account to. I'll start out with a small bet on Arkansas and then just kind of see how the game goes. If UConn just starts blowing them out, like whatever, I'll just skip it and just turn on the other game that start. And that's annoying too, man. Like why do they have it not start till like 9? Like it's like it's almost at the end of this, and then they start the next game for you. That's so stupid. But whatever.
Yeah. What was I about to say? I also kind of want to tease this game too. I feel like you could get Arkansas probably like +9, +10.5, and then tease the points up to like 150. I feel like that would be a gimme.
Do you think they're going to follow the over trends like they did in that one day? That luckily I didn't bet it because that was the day you were trying to convince me to bet it, and I was like, and then that day I think it was like 2 and 6.
Yeah.
Over and under.
I didn't take them all though. Thankfully, I split, but because I took like 4 or 5. I can't remember, but I think I don't know, man. These games, I think Arkansas, UConn, those teams don't really. Those teams are slow paced. They like to do a lot of set plays. So I'd kind of like the under. We'll get into some more totals in a little bit, but let's move on to FAU and Tennessee. How are you feeling here? I'm interested in your thoughts on this one. So
looking at it first, I was like, FAU, I feel like, they look good against, Fairleigh Dickinson, but, but I feel like there's another one. Just take the points, man. Like, I feel like FAU can win the game. I feel like Tennessee likely will win the game. But, for 5 points, that's a lot for these. I feel like they're pretty closely matched, and Tennessee's been kind of, that they had, I think they had some big wins, and but overall, we haven't really been impressed with Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fading this whole tourney, just waiting for them to get bounced out. I feel like this game is really going to come down to if FAU shoots the 3-ball well. They're a 3-ball shooting team. If Tennessee relies on their defense, if FAU can, get around their screens, get open looks for 3, I feel like, they can definitely hang in there and potentially win this game. An interesting number I saw. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and from what I watched with the Tennessee-Duke game, Duke lost. Tennessee did not beat them. Duke lost. Like it was not a domination by Tennessee or anything. Duke just played awful. So
yeah, they couldn't hit shit. I was watching. They weren't hitting anything. It was so annoying. They were missing 3 after 3 after 3. But and interesting. So that going back to that against the spread record on 46 days rest, Dusty May, coach of FAU, he's 26-16, 61.9%, second best in that span. And in that same span, Rick Barnes, coach of Tennessee, he's last, 104, 132, and 2, 44.1% against the spread.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
The only thing that's kind of concerning to me is I look at the Action Network, like their top picker guys or whatever, and 9 people have picked this game against the spread, and they all took FAU with the points. That's all. That's always. I mean, I don't try to get hyped into because I don't think things are fixed or stuff like that. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like when everybody seems to be on one team, those games tend to lose more than they win.
Well, I just feel like the narrative is there that Rick Barnes, the coach of Tennessee, is sort of, isn't really a great tournament coach, and I feel like it's true though. They're not going to go very far, and I feel like they could, even if Tennessee wins this game, it's not. I feel like it's not going to be they're not going to dominate them. There's no way they beat, they dominate Duke and then come back and dominate another team, So I don't know. We'll see. But
what I will say with this
agree,
game, though. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, what I will say with this game, though, is that Vegas definitely wants Tennessee to win because everything I'm looking at, people are betting FAU, man. Public people, sharp people, everything.
So, yeah, that line isn't moving, so they want Tennessee, or they feel like Tennessee is going to win this game. So I'll probably do some parlay with Tennessee money line, but I'll probably take the points with FAU.
That's a pretty good point too. That the line hasn't moved yet. All the action. I mean, it moved like a little bit. I think from like 5.5 to 5, maybe to a couple of places. It's moved back and forth.
I think I saw it opened at. Let's see what it opened at. It says it opened at 5.5. So
yeah, and I just think some sites may be vary a little bit, but everything it looks like the line's pretty much 5.5 everywhere, maybe 5 some places.
Yeah.
But when all the money, all the reviews, everybody's on one side, but the line's not moving, that's weird. Yeah. That means
Vegas
like
they're telling you sums up.
Or there's big people betting on Tennessee that aren't reporting things. You know what I'm saying? Or they've gotten some cash bets that aren't getting reported or something. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we got any statistics for that one? Are we going?
I think that's it for me. I think I agree with you there. FAU's the play for me.
Oh, that one's at Madison Square Garden. So is Michigan State game. Ooh. No, I can't get tickets to that, man. That'd be cool, but I don't know. All right. You want to go to the Gonzaga UCLA game?
Of course. This is probably the best game of tomorrow's slate, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know which side I want to handicap. I did place a small futures on UCLA yesterday with a free bet just to get some action on this side of the bracket because I have most of my money tied up on Alabama and Creighton. So, put a little bit of action on UCLA. So I'll probably hedge with a little bit on Gonzaga. So, leaning Gonzaga to start. What do you think?
These are both good teams. We've watched them do pretty well. Gonzaga has not been covering the tournament, though. They didn't cover in either of their first two games. I mean, obviously the TCU thing, whatever. Yeah, so but they are the dogs. So, but I think this is going to be a tough game to handicap. Honestly, I think the line's pretty good. These are two evenly matched teams.
I think it's a good hedging game as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because there will be runs. Gonzaga goes on runs. UCLA goes on runs. So if one team goes on a run, take the points because the other team's going to come back. If this is a blowout, it'll be shocking. But
yeah, definitely, I would be shocked too. I mean, I'm hoping all these games are close, but yeah,
I don't think the blowout will come till Sunday or Friday.
Yeah, I feel like if any game is going to be blowout, it's going to be Tennessee blowing out FAU. Just because that line hasn't moved and Vegas, wants them to win. But let's move on to Friday's slate. Same thing. They have the game scheduled stupid, but let's get into it. As San Diego State and Alabama. Alabama's 7.5 point favorite. Just right off the bat, I'm going to be hedging with San Diego State pretty heavy. But what do you think?
So. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Alabama here. I mean, obviously it could be a letdown with them not covering or whatever, but man, I'm looking. This is another one of those weird things, man. All the picks, all the experts, all the systems, everything's pointing at San Diego State here, but Alabama.
I did read some stats saying, Alabama's great, man, but I did read some stats that San Diego State is the right side. And I kind of do agree. I do think Alabama wins this for sure, but I do think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be a slow-paced game. I think it'll be a half-court, run your sets. I think San Diego State will, we saw them last game against Furman. They like to get gritty defensively. Alabama's they're a good defensive team, So I think it's going to be a real physical game we're about to see.
Well, they are the most likely number 1 seed to make the Final Four, Alabama. They're minus 115 to make the Final Four. And that's without even playing this game first. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this would definitely be a good place to just throw like a money line parlay in because I don't see Alabama losing. So maybe it's minus 335. You know, that's a lot of juice. But if you threw it in with, you know, like Tennessee or even like UConn money line,
Right.
I wouldn't.
Just hedge
that.
your spread. Just hedge your spreads with the money line parlays.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to do, at least.
Well, I think the next game may be a blowout too. So
You think Houston's going to blow out Miami?
Yeah, I think that could be a good combo if you did Alabama, Houston money line.
I think it's another one, man. I'm going to take the dog.
No, I don't hate you. I don't hate you for I don't hate you for taking the points. I'm just saying I see. I see Houston, Alabama being a good money line parlay.
Let me read you guys a stat I sent Bill earlier. Since 2005, underdogs are 110, 87, and 7 against the spread in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, making them the 2 most and only profitable rounds for dogs in that span. So the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, if you were $100 better, would be up $1,700, and then all other rounds you'd be down minus 4,000. So
that's if I just take the underdog in each game.
And the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 for the spreads, yes.
For the spreads, okay. I don't hate that.
Yeah. So just letting you guys know, these are the rounds you take the dogs.
Yeah, but so Houston, looking at the old prediction, there's 73% odds to win the game. But I don't know how that compares to the money line. But I think. I mean, obviously Houston could, even Alabama could have a letdown game. You know, it's hard to dominate all the time, especially when you're playing teams of this caliber. I mean, I know we shit on Miami a lot, but they're still winning games.
I mean, their coach is a good. Yeah, they've got they went to the Elite 8 last year. I think their coach is a good tournament coach, man. Yeah,
honestly, any of these teams I could see making a run, except really for like Princeton, probably maybe FAU.
Yeah, Princeton is gonna get knocked out.
But I feel like this whole Sweet 16 this is really good. I feel like these are good teams, and I think Miami could keep it close here. I'm not really loving the Miami pick, or loving the Houston pick, or hating. So I hope it's a good game.
I think they'll be close games. So again, I'm on Miami.
Yeah, I might take the minimum bet at the +7 to start out, and see how the game goes.
Yeah. Next, Princeton, Creighton, 10 points to Creighton. What are your thoughts on here, man? See, this is one that I think could be a blowout. I really think Creighton could blow out Princeton because I don't know how Princeton beat Arizona. I didn't really watch that game, unfortunately, because I was at work. I didn't watch them beat Missouri, so. I heard they shot the lights out, though. That's probably how they won. But how do you feel about this one? You're going to take the 10 points with Princeton, or you going to skip this one?
Princeton. It makes sense really to take with Princeton here, because I'm looking at Creighton, man. They really don't blow teams out. They beat Villanova by 13. Even DePaul they beat by 14 when they were already 12.5 point favorites. Mm-hmm. And then those are Big East tournament games.
Right.
They dominated Baylor, but I don't know. This is tough, man, because they're both really 3-point reliant teams. So
right, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. It makes sense. Yeah, I like the trend to take the dogs. It's already gone from 10.5 to 9.5 on some of these sites. So
you like
I hope it's a good. Yeah, I hope it's a good game, but I'm thinking Princeton on the points makes sense.
All right. You might persuade me into taking Princeton. We'll see.
Yeah.
Next up, Xavier and Texas. What are your thoughts on that one? Taking the dog again on that one?
This is tough too, man. I might have to see how, because Xavier will be the last Big East team here. I don't know, man. No, I'm saying. Oh yeah, but that game will.
Oh, that's true.
I'm saying the last team.
They'll overlap a little bit, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Texas has been a solid team this year, obviously. Xavier's been playing really well, but yeah, 4 points, man, that's tough. Because I feel like a lot of these games too, if the team wins, they're going to cover pretty much because you shoot that three, then you lose a couple foul shots. But
yeah, that's what you think. But then fucking TCU hits a three with 0.7 seconds left. But this one's tough for me too. Yeah, because Xavier's their best player's still out. Texas, they're on a roll. They're honestly on a roll. I think I'll probably parlay Texas money line, but I think I'm gonna stay away from the spread on this one. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. We'll try to record tomorrow as well.
Yeah, Longhorns have recorded 6 straight before the Penn State. I think they even pushed it, depending on what line you got with that. So they were right at the spread.
Right.
But this will be an interesting game. I don't know what I like, but yeah, judging by simulations, everything, taking points makes sense with most of these games. So, we got through all the games.
All right, so should we go through our locks for tomorrow's slate?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Michigan State for my lock.
That's going to be your pod?
Yeah, that's going to be my pod. You heard it here first.
What is my pod going to be?
I bet Krabs will bet on Kansas State after bragging about his Michigan State future.
Oh man, don't get me started on that clown. I don't know what my pod is gonna be. I can't think of something now, but I do like Kansas State. I do like Arkansas. I like the under in Arkansas, UConn. I like Florida Atlantic. I like the under in that game as well. And then I like Gonzaga. So one of those will end up being my pod. We will see. But those are the plays I am leaning.
Are there NIT games tomorrow? I don't even know when that next.
No, not tomorrow.
No? Okay, they're not trying to compete with the tournament?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Ooh, I took the Heat today, money line, and they won. Let's go. They beat your Knicks, your New York Knicks.
Oh yeah, the next NIT games aren't until like next week.
No thoughts on the Heat being the Knicks tonight? Nothing.
Oh, they beat the Knicks tonight. The Knicks lost again, bro.
Yeah, I took that. I told you I was taking Heat money line.
Did you? Maybe I missed that one.
I sent you my slate. I said UAB money line, Heat money line.
What the heck, man?
Dude, the 76ers were -1.5, and they're up by freaking 23 points right now. I'm jealous.
Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call while we were talking, and it's even though I turned off Bluetooth on my phone, it still went to my damn headphones. Makes no sense. Anyways, okay. Yeah. The Knicks have been losing some games lately, man. I'm not happy.
Dude, they choke every year at the end of the year.
Yeah, but Randall's been shooting great, man. Like but then just
didn't he score like 43 the other night or something like that?
Yeah, and he keeps doing it, man. But where are they sitting in the standings? 5th. Okay. Yeah, I mean a lot of I feel like a lot of this is just about making the playoffs in the NBA. And
let's see, the Knicks. Randall had 15 points, 7 for 16 shooting, 1 for 5 for 3. Decent game.
Ooh.
Did you take the Lakers tonight or no?
I did not. Did they win or lose? Did they already play or no?
They're about to start. I took the Lakers.
The only game
comes back to bite me in the ass again.
The only game I'm on right now is the Cincinnati game in the NIT quarterfinals. The real basketball. They're losing by 4.
They'll come back.
It could have been worse. Yeah.
Dude, I'm mad we didn't take the 76ers. They always crush the Bulls. They're only -1.5. What a joke.
Can the Lakers even make the playoffs? Are they? I mean,
the
obviously
Bulls, they're fighting for a spot.
Also, the Lakers are only 1 game back of the 8th.
Yeah, no, the Lakers need to win. That's why I'm taking them tonight.
That's crazy. There's The
Yeah, it's
Suns,
log jammed.
yeah, the Suns, Clippers, Warriors, Thunder, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Jazz, Lakers, and Pelicans are all within 3.5 games of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Okay, but
pretty interesting year we're having.
yeah. Any last word recommendations?
Last word. Gonna go see John Wick 4 this weekend, so I'll definitely let you know how that is. How about you? Gonna go see it?
John Wick 4. Yeah, I need to see it. I probably this weekend's bad. I don't know, man. I just been having a lot of stress with dental. We had what I will not recommend in my thing is going to dental school at NYU because we just had an exam where 75% of the class failed the exam. And if we don't pass the retake or whatever, you essentially have to repeat an entire year of dental school. Like, so, but
That's ridiculous.
yeah, it's ridiculous. But recommendation, did I watch anything good lately? Shit. I mean, The Mandalorian, I got to catch back up. That's been good.
Same. I haven't watched any of the new season. I might actually do that after we get done here.
Yeah, I watched two or three episodes. I can't even remember which one they're on now. But yeah, recommendations, man. NIT, CBI, those are fun basketball games to watch. Just kidding. Don't waste your time with those. What I will not recommend either are Colts. And I forgot to tell you. So I was walking my dogs the other night, and this lady was like, "Have you heard of our Heavenly Mother?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Look up this website." She gave me the website, and it literally is a cult that was spawned from a different cult where this like Korean person thinks they literally are God. And these people like pray to them. And I was just like, man, I could have been like kidnapped off the street, man, by this cult. That was crazy.
New York City. You are going to get kidnapped.
Oh, talking about them? No, they won't listen to this. They won't listen to this.
Never know where it gets around.
I didn't even say who they were, really. I think I probably butchered the Heavenly Mother thing. I don't even know what the thing. I didn't get the website, so we're good. But
you're gonna be all paranoid now.
I do not recommend cults. That's what I'm not recommending.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common knowledge, but people are crazy. I don't know.
Well, you never know that you're in a cult. Usually,
until it's too late.
Yeah. Because if you knew it was a cult, you wouldn't have joined, obviously. But all right, man. Well, we're almost done with our second Zoom session with our free Zoom. We may upgrade to a better program recording next time. I just want to brag. We can get in some apps. So, I'm messing with the microphones, messing with different settings. So that's how we got the soundboard. We got some fun stuff.
Yeah, we're planning some fun stuff for the podcast. So keep listening, keep supporting us. And I feel like we had a pretty good episode today. We're going to try and record tomorrow to give you some locks for Friday's slate. Maybe go over some NBA, some NHL. Baseball is coming soon. I think the first opening day, I think, is what?
Dude, we didn't even talk about the World Baseball Classic, man. Did you watch the finals?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't watch a single game.
Dude, 97.4% of Japanese televisions watch that the final strikeout or when Ohtani struck out Mike Trout.
I'm glad they won then.
What I was telling you too is like that was definitely an advantage for Ohtani because is that even how to say his name? Yeah. I had the thing muted the whole time. I was just like I realized I had never really heard anyone say the name. I just read it and like that. But yeah, so. It was the first time they've ever faced each other because they've Trout's always been on the Angels, and that's definitely an advantage for the pitcher, man. Because it's really hard to hit a pitcher you've never seen before. That's why I think I took Japan. I thought it was a good bet, and because a couple of the Japanese pitchers, these major league players have never faced before, and they did a pretty good job. That was good, and that. He threw 102-mile slider to strike him out, and then he had two other fastballs right down the middle that Trout just like whiffed at. And I was like, "Dang, he is a beast, man."
Yeah,
he was DH for 8 innings.
He's the face of baseball.
Dude, he was the designated hitter for 8 innings, and he came in to pitch the ninth as the closer.
Yeah,
like who has ever done that?
Yeah,
like maybe Babe Ruth. Did Babe Ruth do that?
Who knows? Probably. I don't know, but.
Okay. All right.
We're
excited. We're excited. Baseball's coming. World Baseball
opening
Classic.
day I think is March 30th. I think is opening day. So literally in a week, pretty much.
So the real question is: do I stay a Guardians fan or do I fully convert over to being a Yankees fan that everyone hates?
That's up to you. I'm a Guardians fan for life, but yeah.
I do got to roll with the Guardians. I like them. So, but yeah. Well, see you later.